discuss with him?
Yeah, it's something that you talk about before you do, you talk about during it, and always talk about it. But yeah, the more you get hit, of course, the more it's a sacrifice. And the more handoffs we give him, or the more passes he catches, he's going to take some hits. But Debo's handled it well. He's one of the main reasons we're here. And I think it's one of the things that's given him the opportunity to be one of the best players in the NFL. So the more you do that, the more risk there is. But I think our team and Debo are very happy how far it's taken us here so far. I think I don't know. I don't sit there and have a lot of foregone conclusion. Like I don't decide things before they happen. I try to live in the moment. We just go as hard as we can. So I can't say I was surprised how we rebounded. You go expecting that, and that's why we try to stick the course. I think somehow the younger guys, the way they started out, what I've talked about earlier, guys like Ambry and stuff, and how much they've come up later in the year. He did surprise me with that. So I'd say that was one of the bigger ones, and especially how drastic of a jump he made. But yeah, not much else.
Kyle, the other night after the game, you mentioned that one of the reasons you think your team is able to kind of fight back in
for how well they're playing this postseason.
I think we've done a real good job with it, and I think we've gotten stronger as the year's gone. And that we did a hell of a job versus them last game, which was huge for us, especially in that second half. Their pass rush, it's as good as it gets. Also, the individuals that they have, especially, it all starts with 99, who just the generational talent and what he attracts, to have to give someone a chance to stop him. And you got to worry about that. But then you add in all the guys around them and some pretty good coverages with it. So usually the teams at this point in the year all have good pass rushes. I think it's pretty hard to get to this point when you don't have one. But I think we're two of the top.
On handling the crap?
Well, yeah, friends, family, they'll always, they seem to remind me of those things. But I don't know. I think just knowing yourself and knowing who you are plays a big part of that. Because, if you get lost in it and start believing some of those things, it could take you down the wrong road. So I don't know. I think it's just about knowing yourself as a player, as a person. And, as long as these guys in this locker room, have faith in me and belief in me, that's all I really care about.
You begin the week with?
Well, I think you always go back and watch the prior games. That's kind of where it starts. And then you kind of just take it from there. The games that they've played recently, you take into account. But, there's a lot of football that they've played throughout this whole season. So you don't want to bog yourself down and be too overwhelmed with all the stuff. So I think there is a fine line of, you want to study the tape as well as you can. And we know these guys as well as possible, playing for a third time now. Nothing will really surprise us, I wouldn't say.
Pulling the pocket, it's like 2 seconds and it's gone. And just describe what that pocket feels like against this front.
There's some plays where it feels tight and some plays where it feels normal. It just depends what they're trying to do up front, I think. But I think there's a balance of it. Kyle's is aggressive in nature, so our game plan usually dictates that a little bit. But as the game goes, you just got to feel the pocket, and you never want to go into the game saying I have to throw it, in 2 seconds. I have to throw it in 3 seconds. But it's more of a feel thing. As the game goes, you get a feel, talking to the O-line on the sideline, how they're feeling about it, all that stuff, and it all is played into consideration. But just if you get the ball out, it makes everyone's job easier.